The equinoxes are astronomical events that occur twice a year. The word equinox comes from the Latin equus nocte and means equal night. That is, day and nights last the same time. The equinoxes are the succession from winter to spring in vernal equinox and from summer to autumn at the autumnal equinox. To understand this, we need some considerations about the movement of the Earth around the Sun. The Earth has a degree of inclination of 23 degrees. The Earth has two types of movements, rotation and translation. The rotational one makes the Earth rotate on its own axis, causing days and nights, while the translational one moves the Earth around the Sun in an orbit. The Earth's orbit is not circular, it's ellipsoidal, which means that it's at different distances from the Sun at different times of the year. It is also important to highlight the existence of an imaginary line that divides the Earth in two hemispheres, north and south, called equator. Thanks to these movements, the angle of inclination of the Earth, and the existence of the equator, that we can know when the stationary equinoxes and solstices occur. The spring and autumn equinoxes occur when sunlight hits the Earth in exactly the same direction as the equator axis, causing the Earth to receive exactly the same light in both hemispheres. It's during the spring equinox when the show of lights occurs in one of the seven wonders of the world, the ancient city of Chichen Itza, located in Yucatan Peninsula, Mexico. Chichen Itza is a city created in pre-Hispanic times, being the settlement of the Maya culture. Currently, it is the archaeological complex dedicated to tourism, where are culturally important areas such as the sacred cenote. It was a place where the Mayans made sacrifices for the god Chichen and sent precious objects to the kingdom of Xibalba, the Caracol. It was observatory of the ancient Maya culture. It received the name because inside of the building is a spiral staircase. The Maya culture dedicated this building to map the heaven, registering stars, constellations, planets, and other celestial bodies, all that without telescopes. The Temple of Warriors. The Temple of Warriors is a building that serves as the tomb of the god Chichen and as a meeting center surrounded by the thousand columns. The ball game complex. The ball game that the Mayans played is called Toc Tapoc because of the sound that the ball made when hitting the walls. This place was called Teotachtli, that means place of god of ball game. The Temple of Kukulkan. This place is where the magic happened, and it's a sign of how advanced the Maya society was in mathematics, geometry, and astrology. During the vernal equinox, on one side of the Kukulkan pyramid were a show of lights and shadows, where it's appreciated as the feathered serpent god descends to the earth to fill it with fertility. Although other archaeologists think that this is the return of Kukulkan to the underworld Maya, the Xibalba. Finally, the Mayans had a strong inspiration from the ancient Aztec culture. It can be seen in things like the god Kukulkan, being the Mayan representation of the Aztec god Quetzalcoatl, as well as the existence of an underworld related to a god of water, Xibalba, and his kingdom an adaptation of the Aztec god Tlaloc, and the underworld with his name. For the Maya culture, the cenotes were an important part. Signs for them, the cenotes were the bridges to connect the underworld with the early world, and were places where tributes and offerings were paid to satisfy their gods. So much was the importance in this culture that the city of Chichen Itza is built on one of these cenotes, where offerings have been found as human sacrifices and jars with the figure of Tlaloc engraved of them. This is curious, isn't it? Thanks for watching, I am Salvador, and we will see you in the next time.